Go. One minute. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. 51.04 seconds.
Testing, mic test, 1, 2, 3. Does anyone hear me?
One minute.
Hello, mic test. Does anyone hear me in the stream?
2 minutes.
Hello, mic test, 1, 2, 3. Does anyone hear me in the stream? Must be not enough mic gain. Let me see what I can do. I'll make it a bit louder. Let me see.
3 minutes.
Let me try that. Okay, that's louder now. Is that a bit too loud? Can anyone hear me now? I've already increased the gain volume. Is that loud enough?
4 minutes.
I think that's because my microphone mic is not very good. I'll see what I can do. It sounds very tinny, like what I mentioned in some of my videos. The only device I have that has a very good microphone is my laptop, the E6410. It's even stereo for some odd reason. I'll go increase gain a bit more. Okay, how's that? A bit on the peaky side, but should hopefully be more audible, I hope. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, mic test. Does anyone hear me? Well, that's because I don't really talk all the time. I'm actually waiting for your responses. There's this 10-second lag from the stream. I'm not sure how far apart the lag is on your end. Okay. I'm going to try to switch over to full screen capture. Never mind the noise there. Dogs in the back are annoying as heck. Give me a sec. I'm going to get rid of the window capture. Go full desktop capture. There we go. I'm going to have to fit the screen. It's because I have a 4:3 aspect ratio monitor, that's why. Let's see stream performance. I think it's already taxing my computer now. Limited to 30 frames. Okay, I'm gonna close that. It appears that we've went from 60 FPS to 30 FPS stream when I go full screen capture. XP Coin, do you teach PSX coding at your school? Well, not really. I actually don't teach yet. It's being planned yet, but I'm unlikely going to teach PlayStation programming because, well, simply because no one has a PlayStation nowadays anymore, unfortunately. I'm mostly going to teach game development on PC side since it's much easier to do. Right now I'm just doing some faculty stuff at school, not really teaching anyone yet. So I'm finding out why capture rate is 30 in full screen. Can you make Sonic Advance on PS1? Nope, because I don't have time for remaking a game that already exists. You're better off making a fan game or just an original game altogether. Seriously, you're starting to sound like a fanboy though. Ah. You have problems with OBS? Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what to do exactly. What do you guys would like to see in this stream? Well, it seems working well. Not too bad for a first time stream. What do you say if I do some art stuff, guys? Would you be interested? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my drawing tablet while I wait for you guys to respond. XP coin, I'm actually not gonna do some Tim stuff. Maybe I'm gonna just do some sketch art for now. LibGS rocks. Well, to me, not really, because not meaning to burst your bubble, but LibGS, to me personally at least, is a bit bloaty. But well, this is coming from a person who writes his own graphics routines in MIPS assembly from scratch. Well, it's a good way to learn basic PS1 graphics programming. In fact, my Marilyn game used LibGS extensively. But now that I know a lot about the PS1 architecture, I can just write my own, whip up my own graphics routines. Bloated, plus on the Yaros, it's much more bloated because of how much memory the loader or kernel takes up. It takes up roughly half of half a megabyte, or maybe less. I'm not sure. I don't use a NetYaros, but yeah. Oops. Why not? Yeah, 500 kilobytes of memory it takes up, and already limited 2 megabyte memory space on the PS1. But yeah, in most cases it's good enough. That 500k consumption would be only a big problem if you're trying to make something serious, like a game that tries to look like a legit PS1 release. How fast? By the way, XP coin. How long does it take for the to upload an exe file from your PC to the NetYaros through serial cable? How long does it take to upload a 160 kilobyte executable? I'm pretty sure it's faster. I'm pretty sure cat flap is faster. Okay, I already got my tablet attached. Well, to me, in my experience, uploading around 200 kilobyte PSEXE to the PS1 using Kitela and CatFlap, I think it took around 4 to 5 seconds. Yeah, you can actually do the same on the Kitela cartridge. You can use PC open, PC read, and PC close to load files from the PC to memory directly through the parallel port. But for some reason you cannot write. Okay, I already have my drawing tablet up and running. I see. Well, maybe before we go into art stuff, why not I show you some of the tools I made? Well, I have my new computer, which uses an Asus B85 motherboard. It actually still has a parallel printer port, but as a pin header. Heck, I've even found newer generation motherboards, Socket 1151 motherboards that still have a parallel printer port. No joke. I forgot the model number, but I'm pretty sure there are some H110M chipset based motherboards that still have a printer port on them. So if you're putting together a new computer and you want to do some if you're building a new computer and you still want to do PS1 development on it with an Explorer effects cartridge flashed with Kitela, just look for a motherboard with a printer port. I'm not sure about AM4 motherboards. I'm not if they still have a printer port. I haven't seen a single AM4 motherboard in where I live. Why don't I show off some development tools I made for Project Scarlet? How's that? Just need to load up my project here. Does Action Replay work with LPT? Nope. I think Action Replay and GameShark only work with the ISA comms link card. I don't think they are pin or signal compatible whatsoever. But you could try to replicate the comms link card with an Arduino, but you need to write your own uploader tool, or you could just modify cat flap to send commands to the Arduino. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay. What the heck? That was weird. So here's the Scarlet Map Compositor tool that I've made. Basically, it's a layout tool of a map layout tool for maps to be made with Project Scarlet. That are being composited to Project Scarlet. Right now, it's still very limited, still very basic. I haven't worked on this in a long while. I've been spending most of my time on this tool, on Project Scarlet, working on new assembly routines. So let's load up a test map. So here's a sample Project Scarlet map I've made. All of these textures are not drawn by me. They're actually drawn by Ken Silverman from his Build Engine test game. I'm sure he won't mind. I will put credits. I'll credit him about this anyway when I release test sample maps to the engine I meant. So the thing about Project Scarlet is the way how the maps are constructed is they are parts of a map are divided into sections. Right now they're just square sections. I can't do polygonal sections yet, but I'm considering implementing polygonal sections rather than bounding box sectioning to improve flexibility. The thing is that with this boxed this pieces design of the map, you could do some degree of hidden surface removal, like for example the player is in this section, and then because these sections here are not visible to the camera, these are not drawn at all, and also same here. You can tell when that the section will be visible or not when you select a section here. When it's outlined with blue, and ones that are not outlined with blue will not be drawn in the rendering. Give me a sec. So if I think there's a mode here that I've left behind that allows visitable rendering here. Okay, so this is more less the preview mode. So if I go out here, things disappear. And if I go through here, you can see there the section, like I described, the parts of the map here are not visible because the camera is not because those sections are tagged as not visible in this section. Then if we go here, you'd also see a similar result as well. All of this is done by hand though, so it's a bit of a pain. So you gotta first construct your map completely before you cut them up into pieces and then assemble them with this tool. Also, usually when the camera is not inside the any of the sections, you just get blank screen. But we can clip through here because we're still inside a section. So if we go here, section there becomes visible. Because this section here tags that section, has a tag of that section as visible. So if I go here, it's also visible here too. But if we I can't clip here because all of the walls here are all 90-degree angles. Never mind that piece of art, please. I don't know. I have weird choices of textures. So, as you can see, the map's still incomplete, but this is just a test map. Also, let's go out of this table mode so we can enter hitmap mode. So this is how you define a collision mesh for collision detection. It doesn't use the actual model mesh of the graphical model mesh of the section, as meshes often have so many polygons, and doing collision checks for each and every polygon would take a very long time and would result to poor performance. So my technique is to have, if I go to edit mode here, is to have a separate mesh that's tied to the mesh of the section that's of a far less polygon density, and this will be used for collision detection. As you can, oops, supposed to be tagged as wall surface. You can plot new collision faces by simply clicking on the vertices. So it's like a 3D modeling application. You could also select faces as well. Oh great, now that's stuck. If I press escape, I can go up there. Tool needs some refinement though, but I'll get to that when I continue work on this. Right now I'm still busy on assembly stuff. So every section has a that has collision detection enabled needs to have hit map. As you can see there. I'm still I still need to work on the collision routines though, because there's actually the tendency that the player can slip through the seams, or can somehow slip through the edges of each triangle and would fall straight through, or clip through somehow. It doesn't look like PS1 graphics because this is rendered using OpenGL. Hardware acceleration and perspective correct texture mapping. I'm not sure if the developers had a system, original PS1 developers had a system similar to this, but I have a good feeling they also have a similar system to this. I'm not sure how Crash Bandicoot's hidden surface removal technique is pretty impressive though. It actually calls at polygon level rather than chunk level. So that's mighty impressive. But the downside with their technique is that camera is limited to a fixed path. It cannot diverge or deviate too much from its compiled defined path or something. So let's load up another test map. Flat quads. This is just a test map to test flat quadrilaterals, which I need to continue work on because my texture map quad render was actually much better. I mean, I fixed a clipping bug that was present in the routine for this. So here's the quad test map of texture map quads, which I've shown in my update vlog. So Everything is just a single section with a single texture. Currently with the map compositor, the object style category doesn't work at the moment because I have no mechanism for handling object entities yet. I'm still working on the map and rendering stuff at the moment. You can create the so apparently if you click on this, I got rid of the crashing thing there for some reason, but usually if you click on this option it would crash the program as a joke. Also the way how the the Project Scarlet framework that I'm planning to that I'm designing is that everything the development tools will be profile based, the profiles being your projects. So if I go to profile properties, you can set the name of your profile here, developer name, the the global scale factor when you export the map data into a binary binary file that can be interpreted on the PS1 easily. And you can define the paths of your textures here, paths of your objects. I haven't implemented support for objects yet. Definition files for collision depths and object depths not supported yet. And you can also change profile on the get-go here. And you could even, I got some sample profiles here. And you could even create a new profile. This is where you'd save your profile file. Preferably you want to save it into the same folder as your project. So it's a very intuitive mechanism for handling projects, especially if you're handling multiple PS1 game projects. Whoops. So yeah, pretty intuitive system in my opinion. So, oh well. I think that's it for the map compositor. It closes in a weird way though for some reason. As for future tools of Project Scarlet, I'm planning to make a model animation tool for making animated SMD model files. By the way, XPCoin, would you be flattered if Project Scarlet is supported on NetYaroZ? Most likely it will work, I think. I think it'll actually work on the Yaros. As long as you can link to lib files or maybe even just object files. I'm not sure though. I haven't tested NetYaroZ yet, but maybe it'll work. You just have to compile it along with the libraries, or I think you have to compile it with the if that doesn't work, we just compile it with my object source files. I'm not sure what kind of limitations Sony has put on the NetYaroZ development kit, besides not being able to use the CD very much, not being able to take advantage of CDXA and video streams, but it's possible. So I'm gonna do some artwork. Well, as long as you can, as long as you can create your own polygon graphic primitives and sort it yourself, you can do all the primitive types. I'm pretty sure. There are even some hidden primitive commands that are not even documented, or are not documented well because Sony, and there are no functions that that allow you to sort those kinds of primitives. So let's do some artwork for now, because I'm bored. Seriously, XP coin, you cannot sort your own primitives. There's no add prim function. I don't think it's only TMDs. There are even some Yarrows programs that that appear to sort raw polygon primitives. So here's a drawing that I just completed this week. I've actually released this, I finished this 2 days ago. What do you guys think of this piece of art I made featuring my own cartoon characters? Really? XP coin? No. I'm going to have to check the NetYarrows dev kit myself if I want to know the exact details of what is available and what is not available on the Yarrows SDK. What do you think of the drawing, though? I'm not sure what to draw exactly. Well, I like to do some cartooning too, XP coin. I'm not exclusively to programming, but I'm the best at programming. Art, I'm not sure. Or it gets boring to drawing lame Lotto doing programming stuff over and over and over again. Is gets pretty boring very quick. So I had to go with diversify. So I'm gonna see if I could I think I need to calibrate my tablet to so that the proportions will be correct to my 4:3 Samsung monitor. Okay. Tablet area portion. I'll take this part here, and then I'll take this part. They're much better. Try again. Need to calibrate my tablet because it's designed for widescreen monitors, but my monitor, as you can see, is not a widescreen. GIMP, it's a pretty good image manipulation program. I actually use it on a regular basis whenever I need to resize something, or maybe, or in a rare occasion, enhance it. So let's create a new canvas. I'm gonna try to draw something. The lower frame rate might hamper me though. For some reason the desktop frame rate is halved with full screen capture. So 60 FPS streams will only be most likely be useful if I am doing some gaming, because 60 FPS doesn't work well with full desktop. What do you guys think should I draw? I think I need to have a second computer for reading messages, so I don't have to keep alt-tabbing or dual monitor setup. Give me a sec, I'm gonna do some configuring. If I I'm dropping a lot of frames. I think that's because I'm running at 50 FPS instead of 60. I think I need to disable arrow because it seems to be causing some issues. Can't really draw monster characters. I just haven't drawn one yet. I actually have a Ask My OCs thing on my DeviantArt. Give me a sec. I think I'll have to draw my Bobby character answering that question down there. So, okay. I'm not used to drawing with 30 frames per second. I'm not used to drawing in console peasant frame rates. Oh man, it actually throws me off pretty bad. Right, let me try something. Let me try a different capture method. I use window capture. Okay, they're much better. Transform, fit the screen. There. There, much better. Now that's 60 frames per second. Oh, I need to redefine my buttons. I don't know. Going back, drawing at 30 frames per second throws me off. 30 frames usually console peasant frame rates. Unless you're PS1 where the 30 FPS actually makes sense. And considering the limited hardware. pen buttons, there should be middle click. Many applications don't really recognize the pan scroll option. Oh, wow, it's not recognizing the middle click. I'm gonna go try to restart. For some reason, middle click isn't working. Okay, there we go. I also need to change my I prefer a crosshair rather than a dot that I could barely see on my display, because it goes invisible when it's in motion. I don't know where I go to put that setting up. Ah, there, cursor shape, crosshair. There we go. So I start this circle. I think this is not good enough circle. There, much better. In case you guys are wondering, I'm not actually I don't actually consider myself as an artist because I'm not very good at it, I think. Well, art is subjective. Everyone has their own preferences, their liked styles, etc. There's no definite description of what defines good art. Perhaps. Well, there's a definite way to define bad art, but I'm not sure about good art. I mean, if the drawing is MS Paint, that's certainly bad art. So, yeah. Yeah, my art's clearly not bad whatsoever. I'm at least fairly capable. I should have come prepared with mod style music to play in the background because it's pretty bland. If the stream is just mostly quiet, it's boring. Maybe next time I'm gonna prepare a bunch of mod files in the next stream. That's not correct. As you can see, I don't really I usually draw with the Western art inspired art style. I'm completely incapable of anime. Many years ago, I used to I used to keep attempting to draw anime, but later give up when it always looked like amateur. I actually called my anime-esque art style pseudo anime because it's sort of anime but not quite anime. Also, the time I stopped drawing anime is also around the same time I quit anime. Also, anime is in my opinion is a bit on the bland side because if you look at all animes, they all pretty much have roughly the same kind of style in terms of character, the base designs. They're all more or less identical style-wise. Well, there's some variance, but usually they tend to go with a semi-realistic style. I don't know. I'm not an art critic. I actually have some games on Steam like Ori and the Blind Forest and of course TF2, but I want to play Ori when I have a beefy graphics card to play it on. In fact, I was actually going to get a GTX 1060 6GB card yesterday, but while I was testing it, I actually brought my computer to the computer shop. The card wasn't displaying any picture for some reason. The monitor wakes up, but there's no video. It's just blank. So the card's a problem. So what a bummer. And that was the only 1060 they have available. So it was that's even more of a bummer. So I have to wait for weeks and maybe months just for them to restock another 1060 that works. I also noticed when the box was opened, the sticker of the anti-static bag had already been ripped off, so it must have been a defective unit. Valve stuff. It's not too difficult for me. You just basically convert WAV files into VAG files, load them to SPU, and then play them using the SPU functions. Uh-oh, breakfast. I might need to cut the stream shortly from now. But it's a pretty good first time streaming nonetheless. Also, I need to work on how I handle the tablet pen because my current positions tend to give me cramps while drawing. So I'm trying to find a good position where it's loose and not stressing my hand whatsoever too much. Well, personally, I haven't found anything audio related on the PSX that's challenging. VAG, piece of cake. CDXA, no problem. CDDA, easy does it, because especially with my MKPSX ISO tool, it makes ISO generation so much easier and so much faster. That's probably the best tool I've ever made for the PSX dev community. But even though the XML based scripting mechanism is dead simple and straightforward, there's still people who sort of complain that demanding a GUI utility for creating XML projects in a graphical interface. I don't think that's really necessary or mandatory. Besides, MKPSX ISO is intended to be used mainly within a batch file or a make file during when a game is being compiled, a homebrew game to be exact. Trying to make this round, but I cannot get it right. Great, my parents are calling me for dinner, for breakfast. I'll just get this face done. Maybe I'll just draw Bopey making a wink. Okay, that's much better. Yeah. Well, GUI is actually very good in certain CLI is not always good, but usually command line is good for simple tools. But if you're doing graphics, you need GUI, of course. Can you draw a picture with the command line interface? Nah. Lots of typing, line here, line there. I think that looks off. Put that there. There. By the way, the art program I'm using to draw is called Krita. It's free, but it's very powerful. Well, my character has no nose, we'll just leave it at that. Oh, I forgot her wing-like earlobes. So we're gonna draw that in there. Start this circle. That's good enough. doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I think imperfections in a drawing can actually be beneficial. I mean, imperfections can look good. It doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. Nothing is perfect, in fact. There we go. We'll put her other earlobe there. And just make her put a little smile. There. How's that? You need to make it a little bigger. Okay. Okay, how's that? I think this is a pretty good way to end the stream. I need to end the stream shortly because I need to eat breakfast. It's morning here, 9:43 a.m. Manila Standard Time. What do you guys think? Just save it. Okay, I guess that's it for this little stream. It surprisingly went really well though. So, I guess that's enough. See ya! This is what I've been actually drawing all along. It did not catch it somehow. Apparently, I shouldn't use window capture. I have to use game capture to capture Krita properly. That's what I was drawing a while ago, but for some reason OBS did not capture it. Next time I have to use game capture for Krita because okay, I guess that's the way to end the stream for today. So, is it actually capturing at 60? Let me see. Yep, smooth. Okay, see you guys.